Our second reading is taken from Laudate Deum on the climate crisis, the Apostolic Exhortation of Pope Francis. What to expect from the next conference in Dubai? The United Arab Emirates will host the next conference of the parties. It is a country of the Persian Gulf known as a great exporter of oil of fossil fuels, although it has made significant investments in renewable energy resources. Meanwhile, gas and oil companies are planning new projects there, with the aim of further increasing their production. To say that there is nothing to hope for would be suicidal, for it would mean exposing all humanity, especially the poorest, to the worst impacts of climate change. If we are confident in the capacity of human beings to transcend their petty interests and to think in bigger terms, we can keep hoping that this meeting will allow for a decisive acceleration of energy transition, with effective commitments subject to ongoing monitoring. This conference can represent a change of direction, showing that everything done since 1992 was in fact serious and worth the effort, or else it will be a great disappointment and jeopardize whatever good has been achieved thus far. Despite the many negotiations and agreements, global emissions continue to increase. Certainly, it could be said that without those agreements, they would have increased even more. Still, in other themes related to the environment, when there was a will, very significant results were obtained, as was the case with the protection of the ozone layer. Yet, the necessary transition towards clean energy sources such as wind and solar energy and the abandonment of fossil fuels is not progressing at the necessary speed. Consequently, whatever is being done risks being seen only as a ploy to distract attention. We must move beyond the mentality of appearing to be concerned but not having the courage needed to produce substantial changes. We know that at this pace, in just a few years, we will surpass the maximum recommended limit of 1.5 degrees of Celsius. And shortly thereafter even reach 3 degrees, with a high risk of arriving at a critical point. Even if we do not reach this point of no return, it is certain that the consequences would be disastrous, and precipitous measures would have to be taken at enormous cost and with grave and intolerable economic and social effects. Although the measures that we can take now are costly, the cost will be more burdensome the longer we wait. I consider it essential to insist that to seek only a technical remedy to each environmental problem which comes up is to separate what is in reality interconnected and to mask the true and deepest problems of the global system. It is true that efforts at adoption are needed in the face of evils that are irreversible in the short term. also some interventions and technological advances that make it possible to absorb or capture gas emissions have proved promising. Nonetheless, we risk remaining trapped in the mindset of pasting and papering over cracks, while beneath the surface there is a continuing deterioration to which we continue to contribute. To suppose that all problems in the future will be able to be solved by new technical interventions is a form of homicidal pragmatism, like pushing a snowball down a hill. Here ends our second reading.